But and then I tried to video call him in, but it wasn't gonna happen today. He has too much going on. Talk to you about it or whatever.
Yeah.
The reason actually the TV is there is because I am not able to see the screen.
You're great. You're great. This is a great setup.
So
this is amazing.
So sometimes you'll see me glance over here because I'm making sure that button's still red.
Yeah.
Making sure that's red and making sure this is
I
focused.
totally get what you're doing, and
then hopefully I don't forget and put my shoe up because then I don't want them to see it.
Yeah.
Are you stationed in like Miami? Where are you stationed? Because I think we went to your church years ago for.
Yeah. I think it. So we are there, and so we've been there for 12 years.
Mm-hmm.
And my wife originally was from Brother Hoddible's church.
Okay.
In 2000 I think it was 2008 or 2007, I was there for a year. And so I did music with Ryan, and I was playing keys with them.
Okay.
And, I did a few things.
And I was like 8.
Yeah. No, you were very small because I do remember. Yeah, you were very small. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get there till I think 2005 or something. Because the other day, before the general conference started, I think it was, when did it start? Wednesday?
It did on Wednesday. Yeah.
So on Tuesday, I was there for a youth choir rehearsal.
Yeah.
And your wife had seen me, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I know this kid." I was like, I look at the lady that I know from CLC, and I'm thinking,
from where? Yeah,
who is that? She's like, she's from Florida. I'm like, oh really?
Yeah. Oh no.
And then she said
Natalie
your name
was here too, right?
Yes, she just
Were both
graduated.
of them here or no?
Yes, Natty was here probably for like 2.5 years, I think, and then Gabby was here the full 4 years. But Natty completed the rest of it online.
That's awesome, yeah.
And then Simon was here for 3 years.
Yeah.
And then Samuel was here for about a year, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a lot of us have come through here.
Yeah. Well, that's great stuff. Okay.
I think this is episode 53.
Wow,
that's
amazing.
So this is episode 52, I think, or 3, whatever it says on the title of Out of the Boat. And today we have Brother Santy.
Brother Santy, yes.
Okay. Did I spell it right?
You did. You actually did, yes.
Okay.
Santy.
Okay,
correct.
Because I would assume it'd be an I.
Yeah. Oh, no. Typically it is, but it's just a unique situation with my name and us coming from the Dominican Republic. So
gotcha.
Dominicans will have some weird names. So that's my name. Well, I'm very glad to be here, and this is just a great joy that a great opportunity that you present to us here. And I'm just very happy and glad to see what the Lord is doing in your life. And, you're from Florida as well, and us as well. And this is just a great joy that we are here in Stockton, California.
How long are you still in Miami, or are you?
Yes. So we've been in Miami for 12 years. I used to live in New York City before I grew up. I was raised in New York City. I was born in Dominican Republic. At 8 years old, we moved to New York City, and so my parents pastor in New York City. From there, we moved when I was 26 years old to start our first church. So we are what we call in the United Pentecostal Church Metro Missionaries to Miami. Mm-hmm. We are career church planters. So basically what we do is that we start up a church, we equip leaders, we install a pastor, and we move on to the next place in Miami to do the very same.
Gotcha.
So in these 12 years, Stephanie and I have been able to start 4 churches.
Wow.
One of them we had to merge with the main church, and existing we have 3 churches, which is the main church, a fully bilingual church right on 2451 Northwest 79th Street, right in the heart. And the other one is right in front of the Miami airport.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, so just right there, right in front of the Miami airport on 57th and 7th. And that is a Spanish church with Pastor Alfredo. He used to be my assistant pastor. Just wonderful family, him and Sister Evie. And then we have an English.org as well. By the end of this year, it is our goal to start a 4th church, which is going to be a Haitian Creole church.
Okay.
And we're just going to reach the Haitian community. We just love them. We love the culture. And what we know that they could be in the Lord is just going to be a transformation.
Right.
When we are off deputation. So the reason why we're here, Stephanie and I, is because we are on deputation with the United Pentecostal Church.
Okay.
North American missions. We're going around the different states, ministering the gospel, and also trying to acquire partners in missions. So if there will be a way or in a place that we could actually add our link,
yeah,
it'll be wonderful. Anyone that would like to join in and partner in the mission with us with whatever amount the Lord has given them
right,
to do. So that's all to reach Miami.
Yeah.
And so that's why we are here. And we believe that the Lord has called us to plant churches all over Miami. It's a unique calling. And it's a specific calling. And I knew when I was 26, 12 years ago, that the Lord was calling us to start and at least pave the way for 100 churches in Miami.
Right.
So that's mind-blowing, because sometimes some of our districts don't have 100 churches. But if you really look at the demographics, we have 6,300,000 in population in our wonderful city of Miami. Miami. It's just so many people everywhere. And some of our districts don't have that many, but if you look at their population, they may have like 2,000 in this one area, and then 3,000 in this pocket area. And by the time you got to go drive from one place to another, it takes you like 2 hours for you to get from one place to another,
right,
and fields all over. And so that's the reason why. But I believe that growth is for every one of us. And we are to experience church growth. We are to be passionate about soul winning. That's why we are here. We love people. We love to connect to souls. And I want to encourage this young generation to be passionate about soul winning.
Right.
You never know who's the next person that you could actually sit down with and just have dinner. Look, Brother Christopher, just yesterday, my wife and I and the kids and Sian and CNL, they're both miracles. We couldn't have kids, and the Lord blessed us with these miracles. We were ready to adopt. It's a funny story, because we were getting ready to adopt, and once I found out that it was going to be around $43,000, I said, Lord, I'm broke. And I just literally said that. Yeah. And I said, so if I get the $43,000, it's going to be from you. So might as well just give us the boy, just give us the miracle. And I was right by the Dayland Mall. I'm not sure if you recall the Dayland Mall, right in Miami. And my wife and I, we were crying. We were just desperate. We were just crying unto the Lord. We said, Lord, we're going to leave this in your hands, because it's too much for us. Yeah. We want a miracle, and we could not have kids. The Lord blessed us. My wife was able to give birth. Paul Volan was there as well.
Oh, really?
Man, hey, you know what? A shout out to Paul Volan. This suit, he actually went and purchased it for me. Aww. It was just amazing, and the Cooper City family. And I just love Paul and his kindness and all of that. So he showed up at the hospital. He could testify about this miracle, because they were all aware of what was going on and the circumstances in our lives. Wow. However, the Lord blessed us. We have 2 miracle boys. They both were born on the same day, July 2nd. Wow. So both of them share the same birthday.
That's cool.
It's amazing. And that's all Cian's fault, because he prayed, our oldest. He is 8 years old. He's about to turn 9.
Wow.
And CNL is about to turn 1 in just 5 more days from today. So Cian prayed, and he said, Lord, I pray that my brother will be born on my same day. And that's what happened. So
that's funny.
But yes, so that's what we are doing. We are paving the way for church planters in Miami. And I do want to publicly say that is our passion, is our mission. And I want this generation to understand the need of evangelizing.
Right.
So yesterday we went out with my family, and we went to a restaurant just nearby here in Stockton. We went, it's a Japanese restaurant.
What's it called?
It's like I think it's Bomo. Yes, that's what it is. Yes, okay. That's the one. So we had a great time. And once we're there, they set us down. It's one of those like hibachi type of.
Yeah, you sit there.
You sit down and they cook. It's just great. And so the whole fire experience, and they do the butterfly. And what the butterfly is, that they put butter and they just throw it, and the kids go all wild. So we were just having fun. But right in front of us, they sat us down with this couple. And we began to talk to that couple. Well, the young man, his name is Armando. Mm-hmm. He is from Hispanic descent. He's from Mexico. And as we were talking, we realized that it's his birthday. And it was his birthday yesterday. So we're just talking, we're just sharing, we're just loving on people. And I have one say every time people greet me and they say, how are you? Then I always say, hey, I am blessed. God has been too good to me. So that's just my hook.
Yeah.
To let you know, hey, I'm about to testify to you about the Lord. So we begin to talk to Armando, and we ended up finding out where he lives, and he lives in Turlock, which we just preached there yesterday. Okay, cool. And so had a great time. So I started talking to him and saying, listen, there's a church there. There's also a really close church right by, which is this one. But he lives over there, so it's pretty far away. And it so happens that I began to give him the information about the church, and he had gone to school with the pastor's son. Oh, wow. The pastor's son became a barber. Andres is his name. And now he cuts his hair. That's so when I told him about it, he's like, hey, what a small world. No, for real. He's my barber. I'm supposed to go to him tomorrow. And so I called him on FaceTime. I said, listen, look at what the Lord is doing. And so he was just so excited. So I just want this generation to go after the souls. Yeah. We got to go and be friendly to people. Let's testify about the goodness of God.
You never know what a conversation would do to somebody. And look at that.
You never know. And you never know what he would turn out to be. Right, right. It's like today we are here sitting down. But tomorrow, the people that you and I will go and win, we never know if they would become the superintendent of our great organization. Yeah. You know, we just don't know what the Lord has for people. And the more that you love people, you would find their need. God will tell you what, God would specifically direct you to what their need is. Right. And so I'm just passionate about church planting. I'm passionate about soul winning. We have many experiences of miracles, of people that we have witnessed to, people that my parents have witnessed to, and God just turned it all around, and we got great blessings of it. Wow.
Was there a time when you were church planning that you ever feel like, wow, I'm never going to overcome this one. I don't know how I'm going to do this. God, you're going to have to come through. When was the time you felt like, this is going to sound cheesy, but when was the time where you feel like you had to step out of the boat in that situation? Be like, okay, I'm going to walk by faith and do this.
It's always been by faith. Stephanie and I, one point in our life, we actually washed cars. Mm-hmm. We were detailing cars, washing cars. I remember that we would put the headlights of our yellow truck. It was a Ford 1995, year 1995. It was a Ford Ranger. And I bought that one because I was like, you know what? I'm going to wash cars. I got to find something to do. I've always worked a secular job. Now that I'm on deputation at the 12 year is the first time ever that I am not literally working a secular job. Wow. But I've done so much stuff. I was actually even at the school there at POCC also.
Really?
For a short time, I was I did sports with the kids and all of that. So,
I feel like everybody works at that
Everybody
school.
did, yeah. So it was just great opportunities. I taught music for a little bit. I did some music lessons for, I've always been in banking. So I've always worked as a senior business specialist. I did that with Washington Mutual at one point, then Wells Fargo. And so I've always been in banking. But, then, you just have to do all these other jobs to be able to sustain yourself and also sustain the church. Right. One thing that people don't know and the young generation doesn't know is that a lot of the times pastors have to pay to be the pastors. Yeah. A lot of the times you don't know where the source is, or you don't know where the blessing is, when is it going to arrive? You know where it's coming from, you know the source, but you just don't know when it's going to happen. Right. And so you just have to be patient and know that God has your back. So it's always been by faith. I remember one occasion when we built the first building, and that one was on 1822 Northwest 22nd Street, right in Miami as well. And I remember that we had to move inside the church in order for us to.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we lived for 5 years. We lived inside the church building.
Was it cool?
Oh, it was the most amazing thing that we could teach our kid, our son. So we had gates, and everybody knows that a church with gates represents not so good of a neighborhood, but hey, we made the best out of it.
Right.
And so Sion, every time I would open up the gate, he would jump on the gate, and he was 8 months old. So he would jump on the gate, and I would just hold him, and we kind of made it like a little roller coaster type of situation. And every time I closed the gate and all of that. But throughout that, the reason why we went to the church is because we couldn't pay the bills, or we couldn't afford to pay our own rent in our home and the church. So we decided we're going to let go of our home and we're going to move inside the church. And so for 5 years, we lived inside the church building. Well, we didn't have hot water. So we didn't have a water heater because we were constructing, we were building that first building property. And so I remember the brothers from the church, kind brothers, they told me, said, let's fix your room first, and then we fix the church. And I said, no, we're doing this by faith. Let's fix the entire church. And then by the end, whenever we have enough money, we will build our place, our space. Actually, this looks a lot like what our room was. It was this size. And so we didn't have flooring. We didn't have a roof. The lighting wasn't there, but we made sure that the church was built.
How long ago was that?
So that must have been around 5 years ago, 5 to 6 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I think I know what you're talking about, because I know the church that I went to years ago for a youth rally down in Miami had a gate.
Yes, that's the one. That's the one. That is exactly the one. Yeah.
Okay, so that's where you live.
Yeah, that's where we lived.
Wow.
Yeah, we've had many people go there. Brother Eli Hernandez was there as well. He was able to see everything, and he told me, he gave me a word. He says, because it was a really hidden place, So he says God would never expose His people before it's time. What he meant by that is that before we were going to be in a main avenue, which now the new building is in a main avenue, is on 79th. He said God would never expose His people before it's time. And you think about it, a lot of the times we want an opportunity. And as a young generation, we're just thinking, man, I could not make it to preach at that conference. Right. I could not wait to preach at this event. And we're thinking like that. And no, stay hidden. Let the Lord expose you at its time when it's ready.
Right.
Because even the soldiers, the great army of the U.S., you never see them practicing their drills when they're exposed to the whole community.
Right.
They're hidden. Right. They're somewhere in North Carolina. They're somewhere hidden throughout the states. And there they practice. And the best come out of there.
Right.
So this generation needs to understand the importance of prayer, the importance of getting to know their Lord in the secret places. And God on its time will give you and open a door for you, but He would never expose you before it's time.
Right.
So there in that building that you went to, as we lived there, like I said, I didn't have, it was only $350 to purchase a water heater, a tankless water heater. It's an electric water heater. And so, we would have to take a shower with cold water. And then my wife, Stephanie, just, had the baby, had Sion in her hands. And she said, Lord, he was 8 months old at that time. So she said, Lord, I desire to take a shower with warm water for my baby. I want him to take a warm shower. From that moment until I was able to purchase the tankless water heater from Home Depot, that Home Depot, I remember where I went. It was right there on Hialeah. That's the one that we purchased it from. Until that time, it was. I'm not sure how long it was, but it was weeks until I was able to gather that 350. And when I purchased it and the brothers installed it in the church, until that time we had hot water.
Wow.
So only God could do stuff like that.
Right.
So yes, when you live by faith, you have to expect God to move in ways that you never thought He would move. You could not live by faith and just give up. You have to live by faith and wait on the Lord.
Right.
You have to live by faith and say, Lord, it's in your hands. I know it's going to happen. I'm not sure when. It's affecting me right now, but I know that you have the best interest and you know when it will be the moment. Just like as our child, as our baby were born, and it was on God's time. You know, same thing in our life. When you live by faith, God will give you the blessings that your heart desires. Right. But you got to wait on the Lord. You cannot get desperate and say you're living by faith.
I have one more question that's been on my mind since the beginning. Because you were talking about how the young people today, you know, if they don't have it, you know, you need a passion for the lost souls. And there's an extent of me that says, you know, like I pray for that. I was like, God, give me a passion for the lost. And there's actually this new song by FPC that came out called Send Me. Send Me.
Nice. Yeah.
And here I am, send me. So I think about that a lot. But then again, I say that, and then I pass someone in the grocery store, and I feel like God wants me to reach out to them. I'm like, yeah, okay, well, I'm not doing that.
Yes.
Like, because I'm so nervous. How would you advise or encourage someone to get over that boundary and to step out of their comfort zone to get a passion for the lost?
I remember there's this story. I'm not sure who said it or what, but it was about this boy that was by the ocean, and there was a whole bunch of shells, or starfish, I think it was, and they were just laying on the side of the
shore,
on the shore of and so he just grabbed those starfish and he would throw one. So there was a guy painting, he was drawing the beautiful ocean, and he noticed this boy, and he says, what are you doing? And that boy said, well, I'm just throwing it back in the water. And he's like, yeah, but look at the whole line of starfish. You're not going to be able to reach all of them. And that boy grabbed another one and he threw, and he said, it made a difference for that one. I just made a difference for that one. Mm-hmm. So in other words, what I'm trying to say is, like, we have to see that the world is so large.
Right.
But if you could talk to one, you made a difference to that one.
Right.
Every time you go to the groceries, Jesus died for that person, as well as he did for us.
Right.
When you go out, we could come out of a great, powerful service, and as soon as you come out, there's a homeless person in the street. And instead of us rolling down the window, inviting them to church, or, just caring for them, a lot of the times we ignore them. And so why? It's just because we haven't yet seen the power of God move in the miraculous in those people. We have people that used to be homeless, and now they have their apartments. God has blessed them. They're still faithful in the church. Awesome. One of them is an 83-year-old man by the name of Brother Willis. Brother Willis goes to our church. He's 83 years old, from Barbados. And a soul winner in our church, Sister Drix, won him to the Lord. And now he has a place to be. He doesn't have to be in the streets no more. He comes to the church faithfully. God is faithful, and he will back you up. So when you start loving what Jesus loves, you will start getting results.
Right.
And what Jesus is after is the souls. That's why he came here for. So when we ignore somebody in the streets, in the groceries, or whatever, we are saying, Lord, I'm not going to do what you call me to do. I'm not going to love what you love.
Right.
And so that's how that's how we attract the presence of God, when we are after what he's after. So I had a gentleman in our church. He's a great person. That we love him. But he told me, he said, just recently, he said, Pastor, I really want to, I don't want to teach no more. I feel like I'm not a teacher anymore, or I'm not a teacher. I don't feel like I'm supposed to be teaching the discipleship classes. And I told him, and I said, yeah, that's fine. He says, can you remove me off the list to teach, of the calendar that you prepare for every teacher? And I said, yes, that's okay. And then I said, but one thing, I just want you to do one thing. And he says, yeah, I'll do that. And I said, it's a biblical request, and it's in Matthew 28:19. And it says, go and make disciples. And so as soon as I said, go and make disciples, it clicked. Oh, Yeah, to make disciples, I have to teach. So yes, I guess I am a teacher. And he was laughing about it. We were laughing about it. I was like, yep, you got it. So all of us are called to do that very one same thing. And is go and make disciples. You got to have people in your pipeline, if we could call it that. Yeah. You have to have people there that you're talking to, that you're reaching, that you are witnessing to, that you're testifying about what the Lord has done. Right. There's many ways of doing that. How can you start talking to a stranger? Look, just talk to them about what the Lord has done in your life. Right. I bet that if every young person and everyone that is watching this wonderful podcast could actually go in and talk about what Jesus has done in their life, you're going to see results. Right. I bet you by it. There's no miracle that is too small. One miracle that comes to mind every time is when the Lord delivered that demon-possessed man in Gadareth. The Lord delivered him. He used to, that man used to live in the cemeteries, you know, so he was there in the cemeteries. He was naked all the time, and the whole community knew that, and they were okay with that. But when Jesus arrived there and delivered him, and that's when the demons went to the pigs, you know, and so he was sent to the pigs. So what happened is that as soon as the people saw that, they wanted to kick Jesus out of there. They said, you got to get out of here. You know, you're crazy. You know, like that's how corrupted our world is. Our world is very pagan. Even in Miami, you see that corruption. You see much paganism all over the place. So here's what happens is that demon-possessed man, now delivered, wanted to go inside the boat where Jesus was at. And Jesus says, no, you go and tell everybody about what the Lord has done in your life. Right. So when did Jesus had time to give him some theological classes? When did he have time to give him doctrinal classes? When did the disciples teach him about how to give a Bible study? True. It was never done. All you got to do is just go and testify about what the Lord has done. Well, what happened is that man was able to reach about 10 cities around it. Decapolis, it's 10 cities. So you and I are so powerful. Everyone that is watching is so much powerful that you just don't know how powerful you are when you start witnessing to people. Right. We got to be passionate about soul winning. It's the heartbeat of the Lord. That's why he came. That's the reason why we're here. The angels wish, or they desire, they wish that they were actually out there preaching to the lost. Right. You know, they wish that they were doing what we are doing. And it's not permitted for them. The Lord would not permit them, because it's our job to go and preach the gospel, to go and make disciples, to go and perform miracles greater than those that has been done before. Right. You know, so we have to activate our faith. We have to go by faith. We got to reach the lost. The best desire for someone is to actually go and say, you know what, today I'm going to wake up and I'm going to win somebody for the Lord. Right. Send me. Well, I know you have to go very soon, but this has been awesome having you. I'm glad you're in Stockton. I don't know how many services you got to go to for the revival. Yeah. So we are here July 1st is when we are, in a Monday, we are traveling to Houston, and there we're going to be there's going to be a youth camp there in Houston. Are you going to any churches over there? Or just the youth camp? It's going to be the youth camp, and then from there we have other states to go to. Yeah. Yeah, but do you know the Oranges? Not the Oranges. No. Wait. I'm sorry. Yeah. Is the Spanish UPC different from the regular one? No. Is this? It is a Spanish youth camp. Yeah. So it is the Spanish youth camp. Yeah. So okay. That's probably why you don't know them. Okay. Yeah. Yes. All right. Makes sense. Well, do you have anything else to say? Well, I really thank you, Brother Christopher, for this opportunity. Thank you. What you're doing, reaching this next generation, and I think this is episode 53. You said 2 or 3, 50, one of them, something like that. But what you're doing to reach this generation is powerful. I encourage you, continue on in the faith. Amen. And everyone that is watching as well, stay in the faith. Test yourself.
Right.
To see if you're still in the faith. Just every single day, just do an analysis in your life. Just say, you know what, Lord, I want you to cleanse me. I want you to purify me. Right. I want to be pure before your eyes.
Right.
And that desire to reach the lost will be something that will impact your life because of the testimonies that you will see at the end. You will see results.
Right.
So thank you for this opportunity. I'm very glad to be here.
Thank you. I'm glad you came on. This has been episode 52 or 3 of Out of the Vote. We literally, it's mind-blowing how we do that every time.
Yeah.
We've been doing this for 50 something episodes.
That's awesome.
Every single time we sit down, we go,
which one is this?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been doing it. Yeah.
And